And what else? What else? Pretty much nothing. Perfect. So let's just get back on the road. And now we should be in very good form. Hey, Vajna. How's it going, my archer friend? Wow, that's wild that we're just sitting here and blasting our way through. No cares in the world. I will draw 4, though, and just try to get some more damage on these sons of guns. In fact, that probably would have been nice to do earlier on. Get rid of all the ranged weapons. Portal projectile, make those sons of guns nasty, even if you do manage to back yourself into a corner. That's cool. There was a Book of Armaments, and Summon Armor is such a Gnoll spell. I do actually like the idea of summoning armor in the orange crystal plate. That's very fitting. So, I guess let's check out. We have so much money because of the useless acquirement scrolls. I very quickly burned through this. You can tell that I'm not usually in the headspace for a true hybrid run, even though I always really like the idea of a hybrid character. I think it's a lot of fun. But yeah, that's super cheap. Almost just might as well. Is there anything else that I would really care about here? Not for the moment. Like, statue form is always kind of nice if it does come online during the course of our run, but that would be a pretty big swap from our current approach for sure. So for the moment, let's not worry too much about it, and let's just see how the next little bit of Snake goes, because I feel like that will very much set the pace and the stakes for the potential options that could go into the rest of the run here. I'm hoping, though, that we have a fairly smooth go at things as it all comes into line here. Oh, Naga Warriors hitting from afar. That would do it. I was wondering where all the damage was coming from, and it's those gosh darn polearm users that just never give us a moment's peace. And perfect. That should alone pretty much do the trick, and we'll just finish you off. Beautiful. Guess we could potentially be burning through cards a little more predominantly here. We do keep filling out our deck completely, but it's hard to, like, when there's no impetus to do so, when things are going smoothly, it's a hard decision to make, because it's nice to have just a ridiculous sum of cards to go through for when stuff does eventually hit the fan. Oh my gosh, I have, what, 5 pips of willpower? So yeah, 0% chance of banishment. Sounds about right. Perfect. Big swap. Melican needs a change in the training plan. True. Just in style. And you know, style goes a long way. Or a lot of the way, really. Okay, but let's finish off some of the gosh darn miters here. I should have also checked if your trident was distortion, because that very well could have changed my opinions on the validity of that encounter, but fortunately, all good in that department, nothing to worry about. And that should just about do it. Beautiful. Hey, Brain, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Catching us just on the tail end of the stream here. We're going to see if we're able to potentially finish off Snake. You know, having 2 runes under our belt before we wrap up for the evening would be a nice way to start when we come back next week, but you never really know how Snake's going to go here. Things could slow down very quickly and very soon. At the end of the day here, but not too shabby. At least this floor and the one above, just smooth as butter. I'm so happy this character didn't die in that swamp entrance, where I was pretty set on we weren't going to make it out of there in one piece. But fortunately, after that, things have just transitioned into a pretty solid run, all things considered. I mean, things didn't even change that much. I feel like we just had a rough entrance there in the swamp, kind of paired with some less than ideal decision making, which is basically just a given at this point. I mean, if you've seen the stream before, you probably know that all too well without me needing to even mention it. You have disco warnings in your RC file to not get surprised by that? Nice. There are lots of really cool RC edits. The only time I've experimented with it is the RC file editing for web tiles for like tournaments and whatnot. I've never really bothered to do any indie edits on the offline version that I play for the stream here, but I probably should. Again, there are a bunch of different effects that you can get with that, and quality of life improvements that I do really enjoy. So we'll see. One day maybe I will just have a moment to spare and be bored, and we'll go through that and actually do the work that I've always had interest in. Oh my gosh, Guardian Serpents up the wazoo. If I can kill you fast. Ooh. Twins. 2 Quicksilver Dragons. Hey, that's fun. Well, we've shaken the Hornet's Nest, and now we can kind of let them percolate throughout the entirety of the level, and hopefully we can deal with those Sons of Guns in a slightly more manageable context, especially the Quicksilver Dragons, if we can get them separated. Or not, that's cool too. I'm one step away from being able to escape, so I like that. Just hang out by the teleport traps and hold my ground, trying to get that one last kill in before it all comes burning down. And fortunately, we did get just that. Quicksilver Dragon, though. Yes. On your own, please and thank you. Perfect. Much, much better. Oh, can you imagine if either, or I guess any of the Guardian Serpents, I think there were 3 or 4 in this final zone, if they'd surround me with Quicksilver Dragons, oh me oh my, I think we'd be singing a different tune right now. In fact, I guess it's not too late. We could still die in embarrassing fashion, so let's deal 4. And Orb, definitely on the Quicksilver Dragon, please and thank you. No pyroclastic urges from you, my friend, please. And that should just about do it. Oh me oh my. Hey Zoe, how's it going? And you just caught us at the tail end of things here. Pretty successful run so far with Nathan under Nem, so love to see it. Does look like, yeah, Invo is our highest score and will be the rest of the run. So we'll get to see some of the fun little Nem titles here. I do like Hand of Fortune. I think that's super cute. Quicksilver Scale's nice, even more will. Let's see how high we can get this willpower, shall we? It's already off the charts here, but still nothing but ceiling. You also have electrocution warnings as well. Those get silly in the end game. The electrocution. In what context there? Because there's like the paralyzed rare elementals, which is nice to know when it happens, but there's not a lot you can do by that point. Otherwise, are you just worried about, like, you don't have electricity resistance, so any electrocution is a problem? I'm trying to think of the main ones that I like to have special warnings for. There are definitely some, like, being paralyzed is something. I guess that's, now that I say it out loud, that's also under the camp of too little too late. Congrats, you know you're paralyzed. What are you gonna do about it? So I guess instead it would be like starting to be petrified or calcified, stuff like that. I can't recall off the top of my head right now. Oh, just electrocution brand showing up. Oh, interesting. I guess I would like it on distortion, because I think oftentimes I'll completely start ignoring magic weapons in the hands of my enemies, and that generally doesn't work out super great when they suddenly send us on a one-way trip to the abyss, and I'm just sitting there having no idea how it all went so wrong in life. Well, honestly, knowing very well how it all went wrong, but still being shocked to my core that my stupidity, as always, knows no bounds. truly an incredible thing. Should be studied by scientists. Yeah, probably a couple of random bits and bobs that'd be nice to have messages for. But regardless, I think for this run in particular, we are gonna, I think, just wrap up for the evening here. We have 2 runes under our belt. Things have, you know, again, as mentioned, very much smoothed out into a nice consistent ride ever since that swamp entrance. So again, both runes was no problem at all. In fact, Snake going that fast and that easy is wild to me. I have no idea what's wrong with the game right now. Or maybe I'm just in a weird opposite zone where I'm struggling with a lot of basic function in life, but Snake on the other hand, that just drives perfectly with whatever vibe or headspace I find myself in here this evening. But yeah, I think we will call it here. Feeling pretty good about this. Excited to continue this character next week, see if we do end up transitioning very much into spellcaster style build with the orange crystal plate armor. In fact, take a look, even in our plate, we're up to being able to actually cast some spells. How high do we go? Even level 4 spells are not that bad. So then if I switch to you, my friend, everything is quite a bit worse, which makes sense just because of how heavy it is. And then I would also want, let's go for that ring of wizardry that we left behind real quick, just to do a bit of a thought experiment as we are getting ready to wrap up here. Oops. Now I see what happened. We are not quite at our destination yet, so there we go. Much better. Switch out the poison resistance for now. And where does that leave me? Still not great. Our spell power is going to be fantastic because of the orange crystal plate, but unfortunately it's still just a wee bit too heavy. Guess we could go with more strength on future level ups to see if that rectifies things. We need more strength and more intelligence for any kind of real casting to go our way. But again, a bit more hybrid style. I mean, we're at 44 AC. That's pretty solid at the end of the day here. And I no longer need the willpower. If I'm going to continue with the Morning Star here, then we're kind of just sitting pretty. Feeling good, feeling confident. Blink is decently castable, so we can kind of rely on that in the future. We could also pick up maybe Pass Wall, then just go pure utility on the spell side of things. I would like Animate Armor at some point in the run, so that this crystal plate can, you know, do some walking around, some punching of faces and all that good stuff. But hey, that'll have to wait for next week when we're back. Yeah, probably next Sunday is when we'll be back. Who knows? Whims might hit us at a weird point during the week, but I'm pretty sure I'll be fairly busy throughout the entirety of the week, or the upcoming week here. So, hey, we'll see how it goes. But definitely should be back next Sunday. Wait, you mentioned that the Elect brand is irrelevant late game, but it's nice to have warnings to not get sent to the Shadow Realm by D1 Hobgoblin. True, but in that case, it's also probably nice. Like Poison brand, I feel like does my early characters in way more often. Maybe it's more common, or maybe it's just so much more depressing when you just watch your character waste away due to a damage over time effect like that. At least when it's a bit more punchy, feels a bit more natural, but who knows? Who knows the way my twisted mind works. But yeah, regardless, I think that's where we're going to call it. And yeah, definitely huge thanks and appreciation for all you lovely folks for joining us here. You know, if you're chatting alongside, if you're lurking in the background on Twitch, or hey, if you're watching this down the road through YouTube or the VODs, then thank you to all of you. Always have a good time, and I desperately hope that you do too. If not, then I don't know, why are you here? I mean, if you love just torturing yourself and hate watching, then more power to you. Love to hear it. And stick around, because there's plenty of hate watching to come. All the worst, most god-awful decisions one could ever come up with are likely to show up on screen at some point. But regardless, also cool, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Welcome. catching us right at the end, but we will be back next Sunday with more of the same, of course. And yeah, I'll also do a quick check. Maybe this will be the end to our curse, because lately, every time we've ended stream, all of my usual candidates for rating have been offline. So we'll do another peek here. Maybe this week we're back on normal track. It does look like it. Ari, is currently streaming, so we'll definitely head over that way. I highly recommend sticking around, checking them out. Always such a fun time over on that stream. And yeah, just wonderful person overall. So stick around, say hello, and yeah, regardless, I will see you next week. I guess we can actually start that raid here before I completely forget. Do here. Okie dokie. Well, regardless of my inane ramblings, always at the end of the stream, never really know what I'm going to spout out about, but regardless of all that, I do of course hope that you're having a great morning, afternoon, evening. Song change happened at the worst point. If I'd just been slightly faster at my goodbye, it would have perfectly ended with the end of the song, but regardless, yes, good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you, and I definitely hope to see you next week when we jump back into the mix of things with good old Nathan here. Just remember, folks, whenever, even for a moment, even with the nastiest of swamp entrances one has ever come across in their life, never even for a moment didn't have it. I'll see you.